We've cut and a few other words too. Great.
Trepidation.
Trepidation. You've got your hymn books there, please turn to 409. Some think you're only going to do 2 verses of this, but we might do an extra couple. We're going to have 2, and then I'm going to read you something, and then we're going to have another 2. 409, hold it forward. So if I could have, sorry, anxious hooks, could I have the tambourine sisters, please?
Here we go.
I didn't know what else to call them, so I just called them the tambourine sisters. Are you going to sing as well?
No, we'll need the congregation to sing along.
So we're all singing 409.
Verses 1.
No, I didn't say that, Esther. Esther, we're just going to sing verses 1 and 2. I'm going to read you something and then we'll have the last 2. Are we ready? When you're ready. Hold it there, don't disappear though, ladies. Thanks for putting on and coming on first, by the way. Of course, today is, does anybody know what today is? The 11th of November? Remembrance Day, I got told. Is that Remembrance Day? Someone said. I just want to read a little bit about it. The First World War, 1914 to 18, was the most bloody conflict until that time. Taking 4 years, it claimed more than 8 million lives. But there was a period early in the war when the soldiers ceased shooting for a few days. It occurred in the first winter of the war on Christmas Eve at the Western Front in 1914 when some German soldiers started singing a Christmas carol. Still natch, doing that natch. I'm sorry, I don't know any German. It's Silent Night. But that's what it says. And the Germans promptly held up a sign and said, "You no shoot, we no shoot." And someone yelled out, "Don't shoot." And then hundreds of soldiers began climbing from their trenches on both sides and walked towards each other into no man's land. They began shaking hands, laughing, joking, expressing Christmas greetings to the same people they'd been trying to shoot during the last 5 months. Silent Night was sung together, 2 languages with a single tune. And the soldiers exchanged rations and compared their family photos. Some played soccer with caps for goalposts. Soldiers gathered dead comrades for the battlefield for a decent burial. And this writer said, prefiguring the journey into eternity, troops who rose from the trench sang in worship as a basis for reconciliation, making a resurrection parable. The peace persisted, but then the hostilities resumed until the armistice in 1918 at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And giving honour to all the people who gave their lives in the First World War and subsequent conflicts, many Commonwealth nations hold Remembrance Day services at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November each year, with a flag ceremony, the playing of a bugle or trumpet, the wearing of a red poppy, and recitations of the Ode of Remembrance, ending with these words, "Lest we forget." Let's have verses 3 and 4, and then I'll let these poor ladies rest. said they didn't get a chance to practice. Now, we have been able to get at great expense someone from travelling from afar to do an item, Laura Dickey. With a flute, I think it is. What's it called? It's a flute. Did we bring you in from Melbourne to do this?
Yes.
Yeah. Bush christening. The bush christening. We'll follow that by an item with some squeeze boxes with David and Esther Jacob. So the bush christening.
Use that. Just use the other one. We can. Use whatever you want. We've got that on, and that other one on. You can use any.
Sylvie, right? Alrighties. A bush christening. On the outer Barcoo, where the churches are few and the men of religion are scanty, on a road never crossed, except by folk that are lost, one Michael McGee had a shanty. Now this Mike was the dad of a 10-year-old lad, plump, healthy and stoutly conditioned. He was strong as the best, but poor Mike had no rest, for the youngster had never been christened. And his wife used to cry,
"The darling should die, then St. Peter won't recognise him."
but by luck he survived till a preacher arrived, who agreed straight away to baptise him.
Go and play outside.
Now the artful young rogue, while they held their collogue, with his ear to the keyhole was listening, and he muttered in fright, while his features turned white. He was none of your dolts. He'd seen them brand colts, and it seemed to his small understanding, if the man in the frock made him one of the flock, it must mean something very like branding. So away with a rush he set off for the bush, while the tears in his eyelids they glistened.
It's outrageous to man youngsters like me. I'll be dashed if I was not to be christened.
Like a young native dog he ran into a log, and his father, with language uncivil, never heeding the priest, cried aloud in his haste. But he lay there as snug as a bug in a rug, and his parents in vain might reprove him, till his reverence spoke. He was fond of a joke.
I've a notion, little movement. I can stick up a log in the spouting of crop. Look at him gently, I say, don't trouble me. As long as he'll stand out of the water at hand. As he runs up his head. Amen. Here he comes, and for shame I've forgotten the name. Patsy on the whiteboard.
Here the youngster ran out, and the priest gave a shout.
Take him, Chatsy, Howard McGinnis.
As the howling young cub ran away to the scrub, where he knew that pursuit would be risky, the priest, as he fled, flung a flask at his head that was labelled McGuinness's whiskey. Now McGuinness McGee has been made a JP, and the one thing he hates more than sin is to be asked by the folk who have heard of the joke how he came to be christened McGuinness.
David and Esther, next, if you can come forward. Friday night she gets on the piano and she's done some of her own music. What are you doing tonight, Isabel? Is it your own? Bit of your own music. So I'm looking forward to it and I've enjoyed it. Thank you. very good pianist. I don't know how many can get thunder in the background. And it almost sounded like something out of the Man in Snow River with all these horses thundering around. Anyway, lovely little piece. Thank you, Isabel. We now have Bex going to share something with us. Is it homegrown poetry, would you say, or Australiana, or... I'll let you come and stand next to this. Or if you can speak louder than me, that's fine.
No. Rightio. This is not my usual venue for doing this. This is bush poetry. So I had to select a couple that were sort of not too local. Alright, so this is called The Lucky Country in a Fair Go. But it's from the rabbit's point of view.
I just want to stand here. Can you hear?
You want them all? Did he?
You did a really good job.
All right.
It was a little light there, it just wasn't very bright.
So we've done the rabbits, we'll go into chicken tonight. The evening starts up my day as I watch the coloured sky. The plover's night call wakes me up from the den where I lie. It's time... You never upset the sound man. That's a bad thing to do. It's time for my evening meal, something all foxes delight. I grin and lick my lips and ready, as it will be chicken tonight. My usual meal is roadkill rabbit, but it's easy to tire of such fare, and the smell of fresh chicken travels a long way on the evening air. There are lots of chickens at that man's farm, and looking far with wistful gaze, the white ones look good, and the brown ones too. The eyes look keener on winter days. The guard dogs sleep in the early hours after their day of playing games. I can sneak in round the dam wall and work my way up the drains. A spring leap onto the henhouse roof, not really with evil intent. A fox has to eat, you know. Chickens are just heaven sent. Decisions, they're all lined up. I think I'll take just 5. If the dogs hear me and wake up, I'll be lucky to get out alive. Streaking across the dairy flats with a little trail of feathers, bounding the creek into the scrub, feeling very clever. Just as I think I am clear, I can hear the sound of the dogs. They have no chance of catching me as I hide in my den in the logs. Lounging in my wonderful den, all lined with feather down, a 5-course meal is hard to beat. There's nothing better to be found. When I have to keep clear of the farm, as one day I will run out of luck, I have to eat beetles and crickets, but I do know where there is duck. For now I will be content, as that meal lasts many days, and now it's time for a big sleep before the morning sun rays.
We now have these skits. I think it's something about time. The time skits. We like to have time to come up and set it up. Following this is the Hay of the Pine after this one.
Is it time? What? Is it time? Is it time? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Nope. No. It's not time. Not that. Oh, no, it's not time. Is it time? Not quite.
Not quite. Yeah.
It's not quite time. It isn't time. It's not time yet. It is time.